a outdated model of having education for the first 25 years and then let the career progress. But it's no longer possible because of the paradigm shift. Then you have to allow the ability for the learners to come back and learn whenever they need to reskill or upskill their ability. Okay? So these are the new paradigm that focus on the agility that would allow students to come back. And you will have to keep up with all the new things as well. And finally, of course, to compete with all the competitions, the university has to be digital, right? You have to change yourself. I have the 3 less and 3 open. Okay, counterless, frictionless, and paperless. Okay, these are the stuff that university has to do. And 3 opens: open learning, open big data, and open shared infrastructure. These are something that we propose so that we can keep up with all the competitions. Okay, because of the time, I think I have to wrap up. Okay, my final thoughts. This as follows. Anyone ever seen this picture before? Well, I have the notation down there, right? First electronic digital computer, right? It's super old, right? Right now we have far better computer in our hand, right? But these could occupy the whole world. Why am I showing this? Do you know when it occurs to have the first electronic digital computer, the root cause of all the ability that we have now? It occurs in World War II, right? Because at the time it was a crisis, it was a problem. So in crisis scenario, people come up with the best thing. Okay? So don't think of crisis that we are seeing now as a hindrance, but rather think of it as an opportunity. So with the crisis, we invent, we solve ourselves. So this is perhaps the motto from my university: innovation for society. In the current scenario that we see is a lot of crisis, we see is a lot of problem. It's a good time, it's the best time for innovation and to start doing our best thing as an educator, as a researcher, as a professor, that would improve the society. So at this, then let me wrap up and say thank you to all of you for your attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Komal-Kitty, for your for addressing this interesting topic. Please give some applause by maybe clicking reactions. Yay! So, is there any question to Dr. Komal-Kitty? Okay, maybe we can start first from Ms. Eva Wong about the teachers needs to be re-educated. Any suggestions on how we can encourage or force teachers to learn and teach differently, as teachers are probably more reluctant to relearn compared to the other people?
Right. So yeah, that is quite important. I totally agree that in order for us to move ourselves, then we have to relearn ourselves too. Okay. Now, I don't like the term carrot and stick too much, because that sort of imply that we are some person who not easy to move, but rather we have to have something to motivate us. But by the society itself, I think it become more of the marketplace, where if you don't adjust, then the market will move away from you. So let me say it this way. So in the university, I think most of the administrative position in the executive university would recognize it already. But instead of letting them use carrot or stick along you, I think it's important for you to recognize on your own that the world is changing so fast. So you would rather try to relearn on yourself than let anyone else tells you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Komal-Kitty. So concluding this session, so we should know and assess our threats and also opportunities, and also remember to assessing our own capacity as a teacher and our learners' capacity also. Okay, I am really sorry because the time for our session is very limited. Thank you again. Thank you very much, Dr. Komal-Kitty, for sharing these wondrous topics. And thank you all for your participation. It's a pleasure to moderating this session. Please be sure to join the first panel discussion that we'll be hosting soon. Enjoy the rest of the 60th e-learning Forum Asia 2021. See you and have a good day. Terima kasih. Back to MC. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Komolkiti and Miss Maria. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda will be the first panel discussion on leadership in technology adoption. And our panel members are first, Dr. Aning Ayucitra from Widya Mandala University, Indonesia. Second, Dr. Susarjanti Velasari from Atmajaya University, Indonesia. Third, Dr. Melanie Adrian from De La Salle Catholic University, Indonesia. And the last one is Dr. Cecilia T. Murniati from Sugio Pranoto Catholic University, Indonesia. And we give Ms. Mayliana, our moderator, and the panel the time to start their discussions now.
Okay, thank you for the introduction and sorry for a little bit technical problems. Okay, so for this panel discussion, we'll talk about the leadership in technology adoption. The COVID-19 pandemic is a new challenge for humanity, but we can adapt to this new normal pretty well. And almost 2 years, our global education environment has changed so much. The situation forced educators to shift from our traditional pedagogy to an online mode of teaching overnight. Many academic institutions that were earlier reluctant to change their method had no option but to shift entirely to online teaching learning method. It is not an easy work, but I believe we have a leadership in technology adoption in our institution environment. So we have an amazing panel to talk about that, and I'm excited to be able to introduce them. Okay, first, Bu Aning Ayucitra is a chemical engineering lecturer and the vice rector for teaching and learning, research, and community service affairs at Widya Mandala University, Indonesia. Welcome, Bu Aning. We also have Bu Susarjanti Velasari, a lecturer at the master program in digital architecture and also the vice rector for academic affairs in Universitas Atmajaya, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Welcome, Bu Vela.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you all.
Next, we have Bu Angelia Melanie Adrian, a lecturer at Informatics Engineering Department and the head of research and community service, De La Salle Catholic University, Manado, Indonesia. Hello, Bu Adrian.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
And finally, we have Bu Cecilia Titik Murniati, a lecturer at English Department and the former Vice Rector for Academic Affairs Sugio Pranoto Catholic University, Indonesia from 2017 to 2021. Hi, Cecil. Okay, well, we have the leaders in education from different departments to talk about their experiences in leadership in technology adoption. So what I've asked each of the panelists to do is to spend a couple of minutes just giving at least the key thing in their minds when they think about the role and responsibility of leaders in technology adoption in college during the pandemic era. We'll also touch on issues around the impact on work and society, the adoption itself, and also the leadership challenges for the teaching and learning process during our current situation. How about let's start with Bu Aning. Bu Aning, in your institution.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
Hi,
Good
Bu Aning.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Hello.
So in your institution, who is the most responsible for technology adoption policy?
Okay, since we are talking about technology adoption in higher education. So it means that it's not only touch the teaching and learning process, but also related to research and also community service affairs. And unfortunately, that's all below my responsibility as the Vice Rector for Academics, Research, and Community Service Affairs. But that's not only my own responsibility, but it's also responsibility for everyone involved in the university. Because as we know, we are in a higher education services. So I think we are in a service industries that provide educations for prospective students, but also we provide graduates or prospective employees for companies, future entrepreneurs, future leaders for society. So we have to ensure that every stakeholders are happy and satisfied with our services. And as university leaders, we played two important roles. We are not only a leader, but also we are a manager. Means that we have to set the things right, but we also have to make sure that things are right, are done in the right way. So in Vidya Mandala itself, these responsibility are taken by the whole university leaders, the rectors, the vice rectors, and also the deans and up to the vice head of department. But it's also the responsibility for the lecturers itself, because everyone in the university played an important role in make sure that this technology adoption are well implemented, especially in this pandemic era. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Aning. How about Bu Vela? How about in your institution?
Yeah, thank you, Mbak Meliana. Yeah, I think it's nearly the same with Bu Aning mentions that technology adoptions is responsible. The responsibility is not only for the university leadership, but also all the communities, lecturer, the management level from the top to the bottom. And I think the most important role of university leaders in technology adoption during the pandemic is to ensure that the policies made concerning technology adoption are understood by all the academic communities, from the students, the staff, the faculty members, to bring about the change for the better during the pandemic. And of course, before it is being implemented, they have to make sure what the sufficient resources they have to map the priorities and then challenges, and also decide what implementations is suit to the conditions of the university, and to ensure that the academic community can accept and adopt the changes occurred, and also to provide support, because it is the most important thing, because sometimes I think there are gaps not only among students, but also amongst the staff itself and among the lecturer about the technology adoption. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Bu Vela. So from my understanding, Bu Aning and Bu Vela said that all lecturers actually responsible being the leader, even though we also have rectors and vice rectors, dean. And I also gather information from Vela that we actually need to have analysis like strengths and weaknesses for our institution, and looking at our resources is very important. Bu Aning, may you tell us about how you do this process, and then do you have any, I don't know, challenges, or maybe some things are quite easy for your institution to move towards this online teaching and learning method?
Okay, that's a very good question. So actually, during this pandemic, it's quite a shocking one, and I don't think that everyone is predict this one before. And I have to admit that actually my university is not designed as how to say a remote learning university. So in the beginning, when the pandemic, the outbreaks in the early stage, so we have to think rapid and fast and how to make a strategic moves in order to overcome this, because in the beginning, you know that in early 2020s, decide to lock down the country, and it's a fact that we have to lock down our campus as well. So it's an unfortunate event, but we have to keep moving forward in order to make sure that all the academic processes that has been going on can be still fully conducted by working from home things. And we have to see how to say, we have to redefine we have to make sure that these new rules are well understood by the lecturers and also by the students and even by their parents, because they might thought that, well, we already paid the tuition fee, etc., but you ask my children to just stay at home learning from the universities. And I'm not sure whether it happens in other universities, but there's also another issues that parents are asking their money back somehow to some extent, because they thought that we are not doing anything. My child didn't use any school facilities, blah, blah, blah. So maybe we can refund some of their tuition, something like that. So this kind of thing is happened, and we have to overcome that quickly and in the right way. And with the strength and weakness analysis, and we try to see the threat as the opportunities, we have to make some changes as well in terms of financial, the budgeting things, because we have to admit that it gives us a financial impact as well, as we are a private university. And we have to try to set priorities, which one that need to be done first. And then we have to see the infrastructure that need to be rebuilt or need to improve in the meantime. So those kind of things need to be set faster. And thankfully, we already have a Moodle-based learning management system, and it's actually already been set maybe since 2014 or 2015. And thanks to the pandemic, it forced us to make the use of it during the pandemic, because before, even though we already have it since 2014, 2015, but only how many 10% of the lecturers in my university would like to use that in their in their daily basis. But with the pandemic, when they have to work from home, etc., they don't have any excuses unless to use that Moodle-based learning management system effectively. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the sharing, Bu Aning. Yes, indeed, it's not an easy task, especially I think all of the panelists here are from private universities. So I assume we have like similar situation and problems. But Bu Vela, do you have anything more to share? Maybe quite different than Bu Aning's experience?
Yeah, I think it's quite similar. I mean, reflecting back last year when the pandemic start to happen in Indonesia, actually, just 1 or 2 months before the pandemic, actually our university acquired all the lecturers to conduct their learning in a blended model. So we acquired them to about 30% to do online. but then the pandemic happened, so all moved online. Actually, when we decided to do all the activity online, not only learning, but also research, community services, students' activity, at that time, we're not sure because we know there is still a gap related to the skills in using the technology. So because we map maybe only about 70%. If Bu Aning said that in Vidya Mandala, maybe not 100% using Moodle, in Atmajaya also is the same. We already have the infrastructures, not only Moodle, but we also have a Microsoft 365. But thanks to it, because when we moved to the full online and work from home, then all have to use the infrastructure we have before. But the situations, I mean, since we know that some never experienced it before, so we conduct training not only for the lecturer but also for the staff. We made a university learning innovations team to accompany them to give like a course workshop how to use it, and also we kind of using our collaborations with Microsoft and other publisher to use the text for supporting learning. And also we made kind of technical support at the faculty level, so they can give support in a more detail for staff and also for lecture. And also we support for students as well, training, and then providing many kinds of learning material like video and social media campaign, technical support at the faculty level, support from the library in using e-text, and also incentive like Bu Aning also done in Vidya Mandala. Because yeah, some of them also maybe asking, we never use the facility in campus, and etc. etc. And yeah, I think that's some of the support we have. But the other hand, I mean, after this period, we also find that it is important to include the technological skill into the curriculum. Moreover, I think last year, when the Minister of Education launched Merdeka Belajar program, so we asking study program to design their curriculum to facilitate the program from the Ministry of Education. So we made digital society as a mandatory courses for all students. Yeah, in the hope that in the next future they will have skills that more adaptable to the global need.
Oh, that's an interesting change, incorporating technology capability into our curriculum. Okay, well, Bu Cecilia, in your opinion and based on your experience, what is the most important role of university leaders in technology adoption in college in this pandemic era?
Okay. So I think there are actually important roles of leaders in university when it comes to technology adoption. But one of the most important one is to change the mindset. As as a previous plenary session that we just had, that, you know, teachers are more vulnerable or less agile when it comes to technology adoption. So sometimes when we do have new policies or new technological tools or digital tools that we can use in the university, it's slow to be adopted because of the resistance, and there are a lot of reasons why, you know, teachers are resistant to technology adoption. Yeah, maybe because, you know, they think I don't think that it's true, but they think sometimes they are not well equipped with technology, and then they are less savvy. Although I don't believe that. I just think that, you know, it's their assumption. Just like Bu Fela and Bu Aning said, Sudio Pranata Catholic University also adopted, you know, online attendance, and then you know, the Moodle-based LMS. But we could not proceed, or we could not progress faster as we expected, due to you know, resistance or reluctance, you know, for different reasons, you know, for a lot of reasons. And so I think it's important for leaders to be able to change the mindset. Young generations right now, students, they are more, you know, they're more agile. They're, you know, they are easy with the change, but teachers are less agile, and they are sometimes easily frustrated with the let's say vague changes or arbitrariness in technology adoption. I think that's what I think.
Yeah, I quite like the word mindset, Cecil. So open-minded mindset is very important, yeah, because technology improvement and changes are really fast. So we need to be open-minded so we can adapt really well. Well, it's not an easy task. And I wonder, Bu Adrian, you are a teacher and your field is in the informatics engineering. It's quite closer to what we need to work on for the shift in teaching and learning nowadays. Well, as a leader, how do you make sure that new applications or tools are adopted well in your institution? Oh, hold on, Bu Adrian. Can you unmute? Maybe only me cannot listen to you.
Yes. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
okay.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for that. Okay. I think just like all other universities that mentioned before, the same things happen in De La Salle, that we also already have the platform Moodle, but I think maybe only about 15% of the teacher use this platform, and the rest just stick with the Google Classroom, Google for Education. The things is, I think before the pandemic hit us, we are like, how to say, just like having easy things, right? We don't like to learn new technology, but when the COVID-19 pandemic happens, the university is switching. I mean, like, it pushes us to get out from our comfort zone, because we need to adapt to all the technologies, to all the platforms that provide us or assist us for the learning process. And in De La Salle itself, as I mentioned before, maybe only about 15% teacher here use Moodle as the LMS. the university leaders in here, they keep trying to have some training, workshop, and so on, just to encourage all the teachers